Imagine a species so resilient that even their worst injuries make them stronger. When an alien fleet invades Earth, they quickly realize they've underestimated humanity's most terrifying weapon, their biology. Watch as a single broken leg turns into the ultimate defense, sending an entire galaxy into panic. Will anyone be able to stop the unstoppable? Commander Zarak's first encounter with human resilience occurs on the battlefield, where he observes an unsettling scene that challenges everything he knows about biology and warfare. The moment is tense as Zarak's focus narrows on a single human combat medic, Blake Rodriguez, who is attending to a grievously injured soldier. The injury is severe, a shattered leg with the bone protruding through the skin, blood pooling into the dirt, a sight that would incapacitate most beings, both the injured and their companions. Yet Rodriguez remains eerily calm, whistling a cheerful tune as he works. His demeanor is not one of desperation but of practiced confidence, as though this catastrophic injury is merely a routine occurrence. Zarak watches, both horrified and fascinated, as Rodriguez uses simple materials, sticks and cloth, to stabilize the injury. The situation grows even more incomprehensible when Rodriguez administers an injection, and the injured soldier, who moments before was screaming in agony, begins to laugh. This reaction defies all logic to Zarak, who concludes that humans must possess a neural override system capable of suppressing pain at will. The medic, unfazed by the alien observer's shock, continues his work and speaks casually to the injured soldier, Private Collins, assuring him that his leg will heal in 6 weeks and will likely be even stronger than before. This statement strikes Zarak like a physical blow, leaving him reeling at the implications. Humans don't just recover from catastrophic injuries, they improve. As the medic confidently moves on to assist another wounded soldier, Zarak's sense of unease deepens. He orders his team to gather every piece of information available on human biology, his mind racing with questions about what kind of species could turn devastation into an advantage. This initial observation sets the stage for the growing realization that humanity's resilience might be the most terrifying weapon the galaxy has ever faced. As Commander Zarak continues to observe the human battlefield medic Blake Rodriguez, the implications of the scene below grow more disturbing. Rodriguez, having stabilized Private Collins' shattered leg, speaks with a casual confidence that belies the severity of the injury. His words are almost incomprehensible to Zarak's alien perspective. 6 weeks for recovery and an even stronger leg afterward. The notion that an injury of this magnitude could lead not only to healing but to improvement sends a wave of disbelief through Zarak. It is not just the speed of recovery that unsettles him. It is the idea that humans transform physical setbacks into opportunities for enhancement. This contradicts every fundamental principle of biology Zarak understands. Injuries weaken, leave scars, and diminish capabilities, or so he thought. Yet Rodriguez, moving seamlessly to the next injured soldier, treats this biological anomaly as completely ordinary. Zarak's unease deepens as he watches the wounded soldier Collins smile and even joke with Rodriguez, showing no signs of despair or fear. The concept of turning pain into progress is alien to Zarak's species, where injury often signals the end of usefulness. The idea that humans emerge from such trauma not just repaired but stronger presents a profound and terrifying revelation. Zarak begins to see that humans are not simply surviving adversity, but evolving through it, a characteristic that renders them far more dangerous than he or his command could have anticipated. This realization marks the beginning of Zarak's unraveling belief in his military superiority and his growing fear that they have underestimated the true nature of humanity. The tension escalates when Morgan Reeves, a captured human soldier with a broken leg, is brought into the sterile laboratory of the Star Crusher for examination. Strapped to an examination table, Reeves displays an unsettling mix of calmness and humor that completely baffles his alien captors. Despite his gruesome injury, he smirks at the scientists and quips, "On Earth, we usually buy dinner before getting this intimate." His nonchalant demeanor is entirely out of place, given the circumstances, and his ability to joke while in apparent discomfort leaves the alien observers deeply unsettled. Dr. Clay, the lead scientist, is fascinated rather than amused. Her appendages twitch with scientific fervor as she orders the removal of the white cast encasing Reeves's leg. When the cast is cut away, revealing the still healing break, the sight should have provoked cries of agony. Instead, Reeves simply watches with mild interest. Klee activates a scanner projecting a magnified three-dimensional image of the fracture site, and what the aliens see defies belief. The human's bones are already repairing themselves, with new calcium deposits visibly forming along the break. Klee's excitement grows as she observes the process, exclaiming that Reeves's skeletal system appears to be autonomously regenerating and even reinforcing itself. This discovery sends shockwaves through the room. Commander Zarek bursts into the lab, demanding answers, only to be met with Klee's breathless explanation. Humans possess a self-replicating skeletal defense system that not only repairs damage, but strengthens the bones in the process. Reeves, ever the picture of relaxed confidence, interrupts to share a story about his cousin recovering from 2 broken legs and then running a marathon, a statement that leaves the aliens reeling. The casualness with which Reeves treats his condition contrasts sharply with the panic overtaking the scientists and officers who now view him not as a prisoner, but as a biological anomaly. This moment cements the alien perception of humans as a species whose resilience and adaptability make them incomprehensibly formidable, setting off a cascade of fear and disbelief that ripples through their ranks. The study of Morgan Reeves's injury deepens the aliens' terror as Dr. Klee and her team unravel the mystery of human biological resilience. The scans of Reeves's broken leg reveal something that defies the very principles of biology known to the galactic species. Not only is his skeletal system repairing itself, but the newly forming bone is denser and more robust than before. Dr. Klee's analysis shows that the human body doesn't simply heal, it actively adapts, using damage as an opportunity to grow stronger. For the aliens, this is unthinkable. Injuries in their own species are debilitating, leaving lasting scars and weaknesses that often end careers or even lives. The notion that humans emerge from trauma more capable than before challenges everything they know about physiology. Reeves, meanwhile, remains completely at ease, watching the scientists panic with growing amusement. When Klee points out the accelerated rate of calcium deposits around the fracture, Reeves casually remarks, 6 weeks, good as new. Stronger, actually. The aliens freeze at his words, interpreting his statement as more than casual reassurance. It's a declaration of biological superiority. As Klee struggles to maintain her professional composure, Reeves continues, recounting the story of a cousin who broke both legs skiing and later ran a marathon. This anecdote, told with a smirk, only heightens the aliens' horror. To them, it confirms that human injuries are not setbacks, but stepping stones toward even greater strength. The room descends into chaos. Assistants flee, their nerves frayed by the revelation that humans might use injuries as part of a biological enhancement process. Even Klee, whose fascination with the phenomenon initially kept her steady, begins to tremble as the implications of her findings sink in. She stammers to Zarek, "It's not just healing, it's evolution." The aliens realize that their understanding of attrition-based warfare, crippling the enemy through injury, has no bearing on a species like humans. Injuries that would render their own kind helpless are mere inconveniences to humans who bounce back stronger, faster, and seemingly unbothered. This discovery sends shockwaves through the alien ranks, shifting their perception of humanity from a curious anomaly to a biological nightmare, with Reeves at the center of their growing paranoia. The alien leadership convenes in an emergency briefing to analyze the implications of Dr. Klee's findings, but the deeper they delve into human biology, the more horrifying the revelations become. What begins as a discussion of Morgan Reeves's regenerative capabilities quickly spirals into a broader examination of humanity's approach to physical adaptation. The galactic officers are shown intercepted human documents and cultural artifacts, revealing practices that would be considered reckless or suicidal by any other species. One report describes something called bodybuilding, where humans deliberately tear their muscle fibers through strenuous exercise to trigger regrowth and strengthening. This practice, framed as a recreational activity, is perceived by the aliens as a deliberate weaponization of pain and recovery. The room buzzes with terrified murmurs, and one officer faints outright when it is explained that humans see this as routine self-improvement. The panic intensifies when Dr. Klee introduces the concept of Wolff's Law, a principle in human medical science that states bones grow denser and stronger when subjected to stress or repeated impact. The idea that human skeletons can adapt and reinforce themselves in response to physical strain leaves the aliens stunned. They watch, wide-eyed, as footage of Reeves's healing leg is paired with data showing that his bones are not only repairing, but creating reinforced points at the site of the fracture. To the aliens, this process is not mere biology. It's evolution in real time, a phenomenon that shifts the balance of power in their minds. The briefing grows even darker when intelligence officers present footage of human activities labeled as sports. Rugby matches, martial arts, and other high-impact competitions reveal humans willingly subjecting themselves to repeated injuries for entertainment or training. For the aliens, this behavior is nothing short of insanity. General Yao, pale and trembling, whispers, "This isn't recreation, it's conditioning." They're training their entire species to treat injury as a pathway to strength. As the data piles up, the alien officers begin to question everything they know about warfare. Attrition, their primary strategy for weakening an enemy, is meaningless against a species that grows stronger through damage. One intelligence officer points out the human phrase, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," interpreting it as a biological doctrine rather than a cultural saying. The room descends into chaos as the officers realize the scope of their mistake in provoking humanity. Frantic whispers spread as they conclude that humans aren't just survivors, they are adaptive predators, using their own biology as a weapon. For the aliens, this new understanding of humanity turns fear into full-blown existential dread. As the implications of human biology become clear, the alien fleet teeters on the edge of panic. The tipping point comes when the officers receive footage of Morgan Reeves in the medical bay, engaging in what he calls stretching exercises. To the aliens, the sight of a human casually moving and testing a leg that was broken mere weeks ago is a display of impossible recovery and audacious confidence. The data accompanying the footage is even more alarming. Reeves's bone density readings indicate that his leg is already stronger than its original state. This revelation sends shockwaves through the command structure, as it confirms the worst fears of the aliens. Humans not only recover quickly, but emerge from injuries enhanced, their bodies effectively using trauma as a catalyst for self-improvement. The panic deepens when Reeves, oblivious to the chaos he is causing, mentions his plans to get back in shape. This seemingly mundane comment is interpreted as a chilling declaration of intent. The aliens, misunderstanding his words, believe he's preparing for an even more advanced phase of his biological enhancement process. Commander Zarek's bridge descends into chaos as his officers scramble to interpret the implications. One officer mutters repeatedly, "They're starting the next enhancement cycle," while another frantically updates the fleet's emergency protocols, convinced that humanity's ability to weaponize recovery makes them an unstoppable force. The crew's hysteria spreads as intelligence reports reveal that humans view injury and recovery as a natural part of life. Phrases like "getting back on the horse" and "no pain, no gain" are analyzed, and their cultural acceptance of trauma is seen as proof of a mindset geared toward perpetual self-improvement. The aliens are particularly unnerved by the revelation that humans voluntarily participate in activities that cause controlled damage, such as sports and rigorous physical training, to trigger growth and resilience. The concept of gyms, specialized facilities where humans deliberately push their bodies to the brink, is met with disbelief and terror. By the time Reeves begins jogging lightly to test his leg, the bridge officers are barely holding themselves together. To them, this is no ordinary recovery. It is a deliberate act of power, a demonstration of humanity's ability to overcome and evolve. When Reeves smiles and casually mentions plans for marathon training and rock climbing, it is the final straw for the Supreme General. His hologram flickers as he screams, "Retreat! Full retreat! Get us out of this system!" The evacuation alarms sound almost immediately, as the alien fleet abandons its invasion in a chaotic rush to escape the perceived threat of humanity's regenerative capabilities. What the humans consider standard recovery practices, the aliens interpret as an apocalyptic biological advantage, one they are desperate to avoid at all costs. The alien fleet's retreat from Earth marks one of the most chaotic and hasty evacuations in galactic history, driven by the growing fear of humanity's regenerative capabilities. What began as a confident invasion collapses entirely under the weight of the realization that humans are not a species easily defeated. Worse, that injuries only make them stronger. On the bridge of the Star Crusher, the Supreme General's order for retreat triggers a cascade of panic among the crew. Officers scramble to abandon their stations, submitting resignations in droves, while others frantically broadcast warnings to the rest of the fleet. The message is clear. Engaging humans is no longer just a military miscalculation. It is a potential extinction event for their species. As Morgan Reeves continues his oblivious recovery in the medical bay, the alien soldiers and officers interpret every movement as a display of biological superiority. His casual jog on what was once a shattered leg is seen as a terrifying demonstration of humanity's ability to recover from catastrophic injuries in mere weeks. Rumors spread like wildfire throughout the ship, feeding the hysteria. Tales of humans weaponizing pain and deliberately breaking bones to grow stronger evolve into exaggerated myths, such as humans storing backup bones in their marrow or using specialized food, like calcium-rich milk, to enhance their skeletal structures from birth. These rumors, however absurd, further fuel the collective terror of the alien fleet. The retreat itself becomes a spectacle of desperation. Entire squadrons abandon their posts, escape pods are deployed en masse, and in some cases soldiers simply leap into space in blind panic, too fearful to remain within Earth's orbit. The Starcrusher's halls are filled with chaos as officers clutch data tablets filled with exaggerated reports on human resilience, each new revelation seeming more horrifying than the last. The idea that humans engage in physical activities for fun, sports that result in bruises, broken bones, and exhaustion, is interpreted as deliberate conditioning for war. Facilities like gyms where humans push their bodies to their limits voluntarily are seen as training grounds for their unmatched adaptability. As the fleet breaks orbit, warnings are broadcast across the galactic network. Earth is classified as an extreme hazard zone. Do not engage with humans. Their biological capabilities defy all known laws of biology. Negotiations are recommended. These messages spread rapidly, ensuring that humanity's reputation as an unkillable regenerative species becomes a universal deterrent. Meanwhile, on Earth, the humans remain blissfully unaware of the panic they've caused, carrying on with their recovery practices as though nothing extraordinary has happened. Back on the Starcrusher, Commander Zarek records his final log with a sense of resignation and disbelief. "We never stood a chance," he admits. "Their bodies defy biology. Their resilience is incomprehensible, and their injuries only strengthen them. To engage humans in battle is to invite destruction. May the gods have mercy on any species foolish enough to provoke them again." As the fleet disappears into deep space, humanity's unexpected and unmatched ability to turn weakness into strength ensures their safety, not through weapons or technology, but through sheer biological ingenuity and the fear it has inspired in their would-be conquerors. As the alien fleet retreats in disarray, the stories of human resilience take on a life of their own, growing into wild, exaggerated rumors that spread across the Starcrusher and throughout the galactic fleet. What begins as a scientific observation of human biology transforms into a mythology of unstoppable power, fueled by fear and misunderstanding. Among the alien crew, whispers circulate that humans have evolved to weaponize pain and recovery as deliberate survival strategies. The rumors become increasingly absurd but are treated with deadly seriousness by the panicked crew. One rumor suggests that humans possess backup bones stored within their marrow, ready to reinforce their skeletal structures if damaged. Another claims that humans consume a mystical white liquid called milk, filled with bone-growing crystals, from infancy to prepare their bodies for future injuries. Maintenance workers share stories about growth plates that supposedly allow humans to continue reinforcing their bones even after reaching physical maturity. These stories spread unchecked, their absurdity overshadowed by the crew's growing fear of the human capacity to recover and grow stronger. The ship's communal areas, such as the galley and gymnasium, become hotbeds of speculation. Soldiers huddle together, recounting half-heard accounts of human practices. Some speak of physical therapy, which they describe as humans forcing their bodies to heal faster through sheer willpower. Others share intercepted footage of sports, where humans deliberately subject themselves to impacts, falls, and other injuries, supposedly to condition their bodies to handle damage better. The concept of gyms terrifies the aliens. They interpret these as facilities where humans intentionally stress their bodies to trigger their infamous adaptive abilities. Even the most mundane aspects of human biology are blown out of proportion. In the medical bay's observation room, Two security guards whisper in terror as they watch Morgan Reeves perform routine stretching exercises. "I heard they can transfer bone strength between limbs," one says. "They call it calcium redistribution." His partner, already on edge, begs him to stop talking. Elsewhere, crew members discuss the possibility that humans can preemptively strengthen their bones when they sense they might break, a supposed sixth sense that allows them to prepare for injury in advance. The most alarming rumor comes from an intercepted human phrase: "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." The aliens interpret this not as a motivational saying, but as a literal biological truth, further cementing their belief that humans thrive on adversity. The ship's bulletin boards and informal communication networks are flooded with these stories, creating an atmosphere of sheer hysteria. Even the ship's AI attempts to quell the panic, issuing announcements to disregard unauthorized information about human biology. But the damage is done. The rumors have taken on a life of their own, evolving into a collective mythology that portrays humans as nearly invincible. For Morgan Reeves, unaware of the chaos his presence has caused, life continues as usual. He remains in the medical bay, performing exercises and occasionally chatting with his guards, oblivious to their wide-eyed terror. When Reeves casually mentions recovering from injuries like broken arms or concussions in the past, the guards faint outright, unable to process the idea that these traumas could be shrugged off so easily. Reeves's routine behavior is misinterpreted at every turn, fueling the cycle of fear that now grips the fleet. What humans consider standard recovery practices, the aliens see as incomprehensible biological warfare, proof of a species whose capacity for survival and adaptation makes them uniquely terrifying in the galaxy. As the alien fleet retreats and the panic reaches its peak, the galactic network becomes flooded with warnings about humanity's unparalleled regenerative capabilities. These broadcasts, intended to be cautious advisories, quickly escalate into apocalyptic proclamations that spread terror across every corner of the galaxy. The messages declare Earth an extreme hazard zone, urging all civilizations to avoid any engagement with humans. Phrases like "do not engage" and "extinction-level biological threat" become the rallying cries of a fleet desperate to distance itself from humanity. The warnings transform humanity from an underestimated species into a force of nature, their reputation now elevated to mythic proportions. These broadcasts recount the terrifying implications of human biology with exaggerated emphasis, ensuring the legend of humanity's invincibility spreads far and wide. One report highlights the shocking discovery that injuries not only heal, but leave humans stronger than before, painting them as a species that weaponizes pain and adversity. Another describes intercepted cultural sayings like, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," as proof that humans view suffering as an opportunity for self-improvement. These snippets are taken out of context, but serve as fuel for the galaxy-wide fear of humanity's resilience. The cascading panic leads to immediate changes in military doctrine across the galaxy. Entire strategies based on attrition and disabling the enemy are discarded, as humans are seen as immune to such tactics. The prospect of engaging a species that turns injuries into strength renders standard combat protocols ineffective. Alien generals and strategists scramble to rewrite their approach to warfare, but none can conceive a way to counter what they perceive as humanity's biological invincibility. Diplomatic corps across the galaxy are flooded with emergency transfer requests from military personnel who want to avoid any future confrontations with humans. On Earth, humanity remains blissfully unaware of the chaos unfolding among the alien fleets. Morgan Reeves, still recovering in the medical bay, continues his physical therapy routines, completely oblivious to the galactic uproar. His everyday actions, such as casually mentioning his plans to get back in shape, are misinterpreted by the aliens as ominous signs of an even greater biological advantage. These misunderstandings amplify the fear, with alien observers convinced that humanity possesses an endless arsenal of regenerative abilities yet to be revealed. In the broader galaxy, the warnings about humanity take on a life of their own, mutating into myths and legends. Stories of humans surviving catastrophic injuries and emerging stronger become embedded in the collective consciousness of alien civilizations. Even civilizations that have never encountered humans firsthand adopt the belief that Earth is home to an unkillable, ever-adapting species. The phrase "never provoke a human" becomes an unspoken rule among the stars, and Earth's reputation as a death world solidifies. This galactic paranoia ensures humanity's safety, not through advanced weaponry or diplomacy, but through sheer misunderstanding. The mere idea of engaging humans becomes a deterrent, with alien fleets altering their routes to avoid any risk of confrontation. For Commander Zarek and his fleet, the realization that humans are not just adaptable, but seemingly unstoppable, leaves them haunted. Zarek's final log captures the sentiment of the entire galaxy. We provoked a force we could not comprehend. Their resilience defies biology, and their capacity for growth through adversity renders them untouchable. May no species ever repeat our mistake. Thus, through fear and legend, humanity achieves an unintentional victory, ensuring its place in the galaxy as a species best left undisturbed. As the alien fleet reels from the unexpected retreat, the true extent of humanity's unnerving biological capabilities continues to unfold in startling ways. Commander Zarek, his mind still grappling with the recent revelations, watches in disbelief as human soldiers, seemingly unfazed by the panic they've caused, continue their everyday routines. Morgan Reeves, unaware of the galactic chaos his recovery has ignited, goes about his physical therapy exercises in the medical bay, the picture of calm resilience. To the aliens, each moment Reeves spends strengthening his leg is a reminder of the terrifying truth that humans are not merely recovering from injury, but evolving through it. His simple acts, like walking without crutches or jogging on a leg that was shattered just weeks ago, send waves of horror through the alien ranks. His casual commentary about getting back in shape adds fuel to the fire, reinforcing the idea that every injury humans sustain only serves to make them stronger. This phrase, getting back in shape, which would be seen as a normal part of any recovery process, is interpreted by the aliens as a declaration of intent, a harbinger of the next phase of humanity's biological enhancement. For the aliens, it is as if Reeves is preparing for yet another transformation, one that will make him even more invincible. His words seem to confirm their worst fears. Not only do humans recover, but they actively prepare for their next round of self-improvement, constantly pushing their bodies to surpass their previous limitations. The aliens begin to understand that humans view their injuries not as setbacks, but as opportunities for further advancement, each injury serving as a stepping stone toward greater physical potential. The continued display of human strength and resilience further distorts the aliens' understanding of warfare. Their concept of combat revolves around disabling the enemy, breaking them down to the point of surrender or death. But humans turn that concept upside down. Rather than weakening under the pressure of battle, they grow stronger. Every injury is merely a chance to come back more powerful, more capable. This revelation forces the alien fleet into a state of complete disarray. The idea that humans can sustain and recover from injuries that would be crippling or fatal to any other species leaves the galactic forces with no clear strategy for victory. Meanwhile, back on the Star Crusher, the alien officers, who have retreated from Earth in terror, continue to monitor the human recovery process from a safe distance. Despite their escape from the physical threat, the psychological warfare waged by humanity's regenerative abilities remains. The images of Morgan Reeves performing stretching exercises and casually discussing his future plans become a symbol of humanity's biological superiority, a constant reminder to the aliens of how powerless they are against such resilience. The rumors and myths about human regenerative capabilities continue to spread, each new story more fantastical than the last, but all reinforcing the same undeniable conclusion. Humans are a species best left unprovoked. In the end, the idea of engaging with humanity again becomes anathema to the alien command. What began as a military campaign to conquer Earth has turned into the most catastrophic miscalculation in galactic history. Commander Zarek's final log entry sums it all up. We thought we could defeat them through conventional warfare, but we underestimated them in ways that cannot be undone. We were not fighting an army. We were facing a force of nature. Their biology, their resilience, everything about them makes them invincible. May the gods have mercy on anyone who dares to challenge them again. Thus, humanity's simple yet profound ability to heal and improve itself becomes the ultimate weapon, ensuring that the aliens' invasion ends not in victory, but in fear and retreat.